Alright, we live. Hey, welcome to the Players Club Boston. It's your host at Protect League, Felipe Delphine.
Only getting better, Nick Francois. It's your boy, man. We back at it again. What we talking about today, brother?
Today we talking about the NFL draft, more specifically quarterbacks, and the star of the show today, Mr. Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson.
Alright, like you were saying, we're gonna do top 5 quarterbacks, our top 5 running backs, and wide receivers. And so for top 5 quarterbacks, I'm gonna definitely go Trevor Lawrence first. I know these pro days got people all in a tussy, like they don't know who's the real deal. Trevor Lawrence, Favi, Sosa, viral movie. I think that he could make every pass. He could run especially well in the option, and I see that the option's like a thing in the NFL now. It's crazy that the option's a thing in the NFL now, but he can really dissect defenses, and I think that he's been ready for the NFL for like a year or two now, so I feel as though he's gonna do well with Jacksonville. No secret there. They're going number 1 with him. I don't know if anybody thought any otherwise, but yeah. So I got that. Number 2, I'm going to go with Justin Fields. I feel as though people are not giving him enough credit because of his last couple games in the fucking college. But he got it. He got it. He just needs to go to a well-run oil machine. Feel me? A well-oiled machine organization. Would love to see him as like a San Fran or something real quick. Number 3, I'm gonna go with Mac Jones. Who? Mac Jones. Who? I'm gonna go with Mac Jones because I'm a Bama guy. As y'all gonna know, as the show goes on, I root for Bama. Roll Tide. Roll Tide, another national title. So I'm gonna go Mac Jones because that boy got the cannon. That boy can ready for the spread offense. Like I said, always depends on fits. But I feel as though he can really progress in a well-oiled system. He reminds me of Ben Roethlisberger a lot. Can take hits while making the throw. 4, I'm gonna go Zach Wilson. I'm not gonna let Pro Dick go crazy on me. And 5, I'm gonna go Trey Lance.
All right, interesting top 5 there. I definitely got a different top 5, but no argument at number 1. Trevor Lawrence, he's been the guy. He's been the guy for a couple years now. After Deshaun Watson, he was like kind of that next great in line quarterback at Clemson, and he has shown nothing but greatness. The kid can run. He's mobile. He can make every throw. He's smart. He dissects defenses. Mm-hmm. If you need a quarterback, you grab Trevor Lawrence. I like that, the NFL is heading towards more of a spread offense, open up the field.
It was about time, man. Yeah. Like, no one wants to see the pro set, the 2 fullbacks, and one with the wishbone. Like, get all that crap out of here. Like, we want to see you shoot for the stars.
Now, on the inverse, it's been to the detriment of running backs. So, like, now the value of running backs has been cheapened because, hey.
What? Running backs are getting 70 catches now, bro. Still getting 1,600 yards.
Backfield. It's not their only backfield. Rarely do you see. There's only about really 3 or 4 guys in the league that you can say, like, that's his backfield. He's getting 25 carries today, and he's going to get 25 carries next week, and he's going to get 25 carries the next week. Now, I digress. Let me get back to my top 5 quarterbacks. Number 2, I'm going to go Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson has shown me everything to be the number 2 quarterback. I like the potential. He can make every throw. I do have questions because, one, he played at BYU. Little question with the talent that he was competing against there. Now, you can say the same thing about Trevor Lawrence, but I'm going to say this. Trevor Lawrence is playing bigger programs than BYU. Let's just call it there. Number 3, I'm going to go with my man at Ohio State, Justin Fields. I love Justin Fields. I like everything about him. Honestly, I think I like his potential the second most behind Trevor Lawrence because I think this kid could be be a real superstar in the right system. I'd love to see him to go to San Francisco. I'd also love to see him to go to Carolina because on the low, Carolina's offense had some pop to it last year. Now, they did lose Curtis Samuel in free agency, so we'll see what happens there.
They still have DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson,
Yeah,
McCaffrey.
so they still got some guys, and McCaffrey was hurt for most of last year, but I think if they could bring in a game changer, hey, even a guy like, who I'm going to get to in a little bit, and Trey Lance, but I would love the fit of a Justin Fields in Carolina. And he'd look pretty damn good in that uniform, too.
No, that baby blue would look tough on him. I can't lie. The baby blue would look real tough on him. I like that, yeah.
So I'm going to get to it. Number 4, I got Trey Lance. He's another guy, a little bit of a question mark for me because, he played at North Dakota State. The last North Dakota State quarterback that we saw taken early was your man Carson Wentz. Now, he's in a good situation now in Indianapolis. We'll see what he will do there after everything that happened in Philadelphia, but I have my reservations about Trey Lance. Now, everybody's telling me he's a project pick, things like that. I'm kind of against going with project pick guys in the top 10. For me, I think if you draft a guy in the top 10, you want to get your guy a surefire starter, and that guy should be a Pro Bowler within the next, within the first 4 years of his career. That's what I feel like, especially if you're taking a guy that high, that should be a fair expectation.
What about, that's true. Pat Mahomes was 12. And I was about to use that argument, or the Deshaun was 10. Okay, you got that.
Yeah.
But
also, Pat Mahomes sat for a year.
Yeah.
And he needed the coaching. Like, I know Pat Mahomes is an NFL superstar. He is the best quarterback in the league today by far. Like, there's no argument there. But if you go back and look at Mahomes' tape, he did get coached up by Andy Reid. Mahomes, despite all the talent, made reckless decisions, just like your boy Johnny Manziel. Now, I'm not going to say he was making decisions just as bad as Johnny Manziel, as we can see so in the way that both of their lives have played out. But what I'm saying is coaching does help. Him sitting for a year, especially behind a guy like Alex Smith, who's very smart, who's also a high overall pick in the NFL himself, number 1, in fact. I think people underrate the value of having that Alex Smith, who's not only willing to help and coach up at Pat Mahomes, but just be a leader, be a beacon of leadership, and show how to get things done the right way.
And that's why everybody's so gung-ho about Trey Lance going to Atlanta, because it's somewhere where he could watch Matt Ryan.
I like that fit for him. I like that fit for him.
He'll watch Matt Ryan for about a year or two.
Number 5, I got Mac Jones. I'm not going to fall into the hype with Mac Jones. I think he's what you see is what you get. That's no knock on him. I think he's truly, in terms of value of where he is as a quarterback, he's a late round, early second round talent. I think because of the need of quarterback, his value is being driven up. And hey, good for him. I think he's a really good quarterback. He played very well in the Alabama system. I'm not going to cheapen him out and say, like, hey, he was just a benefit of the system. There's been plenty of guys who have plenty of talent around them and don't get the job done. Mac Jones did get the job done. I just think he's being a little oversold here in terms of value. I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback. I truly don't think he's a top 5 overall pick type of quarterback. I think he'll be a solid starter in the NFL, though. I don't think, he's going to have, struggle so much in the NFL in terms of reading defenses and things like that. It's just the physical limitations are going to be there. But despite the fact we just saw Tom Brady win a Super Bowl,
that's true.
Despite the fact, yes, a mobile quarterback does get you there. A mobile quarterback is preferred in this NFL that's ever changing, and we're seeing tight ends like Kyle Pitts who are running 4.4s. What do you think these DNs and linebackers is running? They may not be running 4.3s, but these dudes is running 4.4s, 4.5s.
That's
and
crazy.
250 running at you
can run
with a 4.5.
4.3.
That is scary, bro. That is not something that you want to run into.
I can't believe the people. These motherfucking kids are so fucking fast now. It's amazing. Like, shout out to y'all nutritionists. Shout out to y'all whoever, whatever y'all doing. Keep doing that, man. Because in my wildest dreams, am I gonna be able to ever run a 4.4? So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there.
But hey, man.
So on that note, what's your top 5 running backs coming in?
Top 5 running backs. Oh, well, we got to start with number 1, and I felt he's been my number 1.
No, he got that. I mean, I wish we had audio before this show came a thing, because
Najee Harris.
He got that Najee Harris thing.
Fantastic.
I'm a Bama guy, and he's still got that Najee Harris thing.
Najee Harris, and for me, for running backs, it's your eye, bro. You got to see what you see with your eyes. Now, there are guys running backs that have been taken early, such as Reggie Bush. Maybe they were underutilized, or maybe the NFL at the time just didn't fit their type of skill talent. But I'm gonna tell you this: Najee Harris could play in the NFL in the early 2000s, in the 1990s, the 1980s, the 1970s. He's that damn good. He can catch out of the backfield. He can run in between the tackles. He has the speed to run outside. He's a complete back. And thank God he's actually in an NFL where he's probably going to be splitting carries early to start off, so he won't be, taking all that punishment early. But we have seen, a transcendent talent in the NFL at running back, such as an Alvin Kamara, a Chris McCaffrey, a Zeke Elliott when healthy.
Yeah.
That can really be the difference between you making, being a mediocre team, or maybe a team that had a chance to make a deep playoff run, maybe even a Super Bowl contender. A hot running back, a team that can run the football and play good defense in the playoffs goes a long way. We've seen that from the time and time again. And I think Najee Harris, especially someone who's probably going to be in the back end of the first round, hey, if you're a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers, Buffalo Bills, you might want to take a look at that guy. If he falls all the way down there, but we'll see how this draft plays out. You can talk about Najee too. Go ahead.
No, I mean you got to finish your 5 out. You got to finish.
Oh yeah, you got that. So number 2, I'm gonna go with Travis Etienne. I still like him, despite I think he's not as sexy as a pick as he was when
a year ago.
A year ago when college football was probably just starting up. His value probably would have been higher if he had came out a year early. You taking extra carries, teams don't like that. But his speed is legit. His talent's legit. He can catch out of the backfield as well.
Mm-hmm.
A little more slight in frame compared to a Najee Harris, but the kid's got talent. He'll probably end up somewhere like the Jets, and I think he'll be a good fit there. They just signed Tevin Coleman. So I'll be interested to see if the Jets make that move there. But if not, wherever Travis Etienne ends up,
it's going to be electric.
It's got to be electric.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to go with a guy who actually sat out this past season. But
I'm gonna hold you to
this.
it, man. What's today? March 31st. I'm gonna hold you to this.
We all saw what Antonio Gibson did last year. What if I told you this was the guy who was keeping Antonio Gibson off the field? And that's Mr. Kenneth Gainwell out of Memphis. This guy looks like the modern day running back. Again, another guy who can catch out of the backfield. You need that in the NFL. What I've seen, especially with certain teams that have backs that have certain skill sets, when teams know what you're doing in terms of personnel, like if they know a certain back is in the game and it's like, all right, this guy doesn't really catch the football, or they don't even throw to him. As a linebacker, I'm going to recognize that, and I'm keying in on the run all the way. But when you have a guy who can come out of the backfield and can run in between the tackles and make catches out the backfield, and can make guys miss, that's something special in the NFL, and I think Kenneth Gainwell can do that for you. Now, number 4, I gotta go my man Javonte Williams out of UNC. Now, some people probably have Javonte Williams over Mr. Gainwell, who I just mentioned before, but Javonte Williams looks like another modern day back, about 215.
He reminds me of Mark Ingram.
Yeah, solid back. I think he could be a very good back. He has good soft hands. I think outside of Najee, he could be one of those guys who could turn into a complete back depending on how he develops. I'll say the raw talent isn't the same as a Najee Harris, but the potential is there. And that's always what you want to see out of a back. Now, number 5, I struggled with this one here. I'm not going to hold you. But I'm going to go Trey Sermon out of Ohio State. Another big bruiser. I like the way he runs. I've always been a guy who likes the plotter type back.
My only fear is if Ohio State didn't already run him down. He'll be one of those people who would have the first great 2 years, and then the third year is ooh.
Yeah, the shelf life of the NFL running back is not very long. And a guy like Trey Sermon, who's already been kind of battered with some injuries, I'm kind of concerned about, that right there. But I think he's a guy who, he could turn into something if he can stay on the field and perform the way that I know he can perform. Because we've saw it in a couple of Ohio State games last year where he damn near just took over certain series. And when there's a certain type of enthusiasm and excitement you get when you see your teammate running through 2 or 3 guys. Mm-hmm. We saw what Beast Mode did in Seattle. I'm not comparing Trey Sermon to Beast Mode, but when Beast Mode broke off that run in the playoffs against New Orleans to seal that game, they caused an earthquake.
Yeah.
They cause an earthquake.
That joint was so.
That's one. It's like
easy.
watching an alley oop. It's like a guy hitting, a buzzer beating three. It gets you so pumped up and energized. Even if he doesn't score, if he runs through 3 or 4 guys and gets a first down, you're like, yo, I'm ready to hit somebody, bro.
Facts.
I'm ready to hit somebody.
Facts.
It inspires you. And
Facts.
that's the way Trey Sermon runs. He runs hard, and anybody's can appreciate that. And on whatever team drafts him, you gotta like rooting for this kid.
All right, so Najee, number one. There was no ever no debate about that. He is like a complete back. He also is great at blitz protections, which is also a very low key thing you look for in running backs that people don't really mention is how well they pick up blitzes. And so I'm gonna go Najee. I'm gonna agree with you at Etienne. He's very elusive. He reminds me of a Kamara, just a little bit of a better runner in between the tackles than Kamara, in my opinion. But we'll see. Number 3, I'm going to go Javonte Williams, number 3. That boy ran through the ACC, something crazy. And his bowl game actually had me really on alert for him, and then so it made me watch all his highlights, and I'm like, wow, this guy is very powerful.
Yeah, no, Javonte Williams is the real deal. He looks like an NFL running back. He looks like an NFL running back.
Can break tackles and outspeed anybody on the field, so I'm interested to see where he goes. Number 4, I'm gonna go his teammate Michael Carter. Michael Carter is nice, man. Michael Carter is nice. If you don't know who he is, check him out. They're having a 1-2 battle, and so Michael Carter is more of a pass catcher running back.
Yeah, more shifty, more
elusive. And so I think that on the right team, put him on the Saints or like Cardinals real quick or something like that, is like, I think that he'll have a real chance to shine. Number 5, I'm gonna go your boy Chuba Hubbard. He opted out for the season, but his last season was great. It was crazy. He reminds me of James Conner, very stout running back, who's gonna just get through the holes and not play around, get the first down. And you always want a running back who could get you a first down. Like, absolutely, that's the key. You want a running back who can get you a first down and a tight end that can get you a first down. Like those, like you are essentially always looking for those kind of things. And so I think that Chuba Hubbard is someone who could just move the motherfucking chains. And that is my 5 for that.
Yeah. Some injury concerns with Chuba and a little bit of a down year last year, but I still believe in Chuba's talent. He was a guy who was highly touted just like Etienne was last year, one of the top end backs. I always find it strange when a guy has a bit of a down year the next year. It's like, I don't think people understand how grueling football is sometimes. And the guys that we get who perform year in and year out on a consistent high basis, like
when we play those little flag games, man, like after those,
grueling,
like,
bro. It is grueling. It takes a lot out of you, and that's why, like, it's almost like being a gladiator at times. Like when you get out of a game and you come through with a victory, because it's like, yeah, man, I fucking gave up my damn body for this. Man, like I did this for the love of the game, and it's like, we're past our actual playing days and strapping on and putting on a helmet now. But
yeah, man, fuck that, man. I'll just watch it on fucking Sundays, man.
All right,
we got the receivers.
Yeah, we got some receivers we gotta talk about. Let's get it cracking. So, you want to start off with our top 5?
Oh yeah, Jamar Chase. That is my guy right there. Like, even over my Bama Devontae Smith, my Bama Jalen Waddle, that guy Jamar Chase, and We seen what Justin Jefferson did in the league last year, man. Fucking broke the rookie receiving record,
1,400
man.
yards for Justin Jefferson.
I don't feel like in my lifespan we done seen all records broken. But maybe that's the way it's meant to be. Each generation breaks the last generation's record, but like that is crazy. I didn't think that record was going to be broken because it wasn't even been flirted with like for years. Not even flirted with. So just for it to be outright broken is kind of crazy to me. So I'm gonna go Jamar Chase number 1. Number 2, I'm gonna go Devontae Smith. That guy is a beast. He is special. He reminds me of Marvin Harrison. A cooler one though, because between me and you, I was just never a Marvin Harrison fan. Like especially as a Pats fan, it's like, ew, get Marvin Harrison out of here. They had the big 88, the fucking mustache. It was like, ugh, get that guy out of here. But anyways,
not to talk crazy about Marvin Harrison.
No. We can have that talk when he falls in the receiving the top grades. We can have that talk, but it's like he was just not my guy. But as crazy as it sounds, Devontae Smith reminds me of Marvin Harrison. So I guess I gotta go with that comparison. Jalen Waddle, number 3. That boy is electric. And it's not like Henry Ruggs electric. I feel like Henry Ruggs was a little bit more limited. I feel like Jalen Waddle is going to be able to be used more as a shiftier lateral receiver that will be able to work at the middle and work well in open space. Number 4, I'm going to go Rondell Moore from Purdue. I don't know why I did that. My fault. But I think that he is underrated. I think that his speed is he had the same speed as Ty Hill. He has the same kind of body as Ty Hill. If he becomes Ty Hill, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I'm gonna just go out and say it. And at number 5, I'm gonna go with Sean Bateman. I think that he is a receiver that can make all kinds of catches. He is great in the contested catches, and I think that's going to translate in the league. You need someone who could just win battles, because sometimes in the red zone it's like motherfucking QB don't know what to do, so you just gotta toss that bitch up to you, and so you better be ready to catch it. And I think he is capable of doing that. So,
all right, hey, interesting top 5 there. Ain't no surprise with my number 1. I'm going Jamar Chase. I think Chase has shown us what he can do on the field. He opted out this past season, but we saw what he did the year before with Joe Burrow. He's legit. We saw what Jefferson did last year in the NFL, and a lot of people had Jamar Chase being better than Justin Jefferson, and that is no slight at Jefferson at all. Mm-hmm. Jefferson's the real deal, just like Jamar Chase is. Number 2, I'm gonna go. I've been struggling with this one.
Oh man, here we go.
I've been struggling with this one for a little bit, but I'm gonna kill the suspense. It's Devontae Smith. He plays bigger than what he looks like. I know a lot of comparisons to Marvin Harrison, but he also could compare to Odell too. Odell was one of those guys. He plays like he's 6'1", 6'2". Odell is listed as 5'10", 5'11", which is beyond me because he doesn't look like he plays like he's 5'10".
No, yeah, Odell definitely looks like a 6'2" receiver.
Yeah, and that's what Devontae Smith reminds me of. Now, he will have to bulk up a little bit in the league, but his release is so disgusting, that might not even matter. And
no, 170 is crazy. 170 is crazy.
Yeah, but, I mean, Marvin Harrison played at 180, so he can bulk up and put 10 pounds on. And I feel like in translating into the NFL as a receiver, just like a quarterback, like, hey, if you got to come in with that, able to throw that outside the numbers, right? Mm-hmm. As a receiver, you have to be able to be a tactician at the line. You have to be able to foot fire and get off the line where you can beat that press. And Devontae Smith already has that in his repertoire. So now, with number 3, I'm actually going to go with Rashad Bateman here. I like Bateman a lot. He's a big body receiver. He's been that
number 3.
Yeah, number 3. He's been that big body receiver at Minnesota. Now I know Minnesota's in the Big Ten, not exactly always the best elite competition in terms of top to bottom. Mm-hmm. But anytime you give me multiple seasons in college where you've been the number 1 guy and you've performed at an elite level,
I agree.
That's usually the translating to the NFL. So I'm going with Bateman at number 3. Number 4, I'm going Rondell Moore. I love the kid. He's a crazy athlete. I think scheme fit's going to be the main thing for him. But his physical tools are off the wall. 4.29, you can't beat that type of speed.
Nah, you really
Good luck
can't.
catching that kid.
You really can't.
Good
man.
luck catching that kid.
I envy you, man.
The
I
one
envy
thing
you.
about, in comparison to Ruggs last year, who also is a burner, Ruggs is very slender in terms of frame. Rondell Moore is a little more of a
Good enough,
stocky
good
build. Similar to he's been getting a lot of comparison to Tyreek Hill. Not everybody's going to beat Tyreek Hill, but Rondell Moore, if he's in the right offense, the guy knows how to move with the football. He's a good yak guy. He has good ball carrier vision when out in the open field. So I think he's a guy who can be something special in the NFL. And number 5 actually got a bit of another surprise. I'm going to go Tylan Wallace out of Oklahoma State. Every time I watch this kid on tape, I just love what I see out of him in terms of running the deep route. And one of the hardest positions in the NFL to play is being that outside receiver.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be the guy where you know, like, there's probably going to be a safety over the top, even if I beat this corner. So realistically, you know, I have to beat 2 guys on this play. And Tylan Wallace is a guy who did that consistently in college. Now, the Big 12 isn't exactly full of lockdown defenders like the SEC is. But anytime you can do that consistently against D1 talent, that usually is going to translate to the NFL. You are playing still the premier athletes in the nation. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, that's a fact. I'm not mad at that pick. I'm definitely not mad at that.
Tylan Wallace, I think he could be a very sneaky pick. He's probably going to fall into the 2nd or 3rd round to a team, but depending on who's a receiver need a team like, hey, honestly, if you're a team like Baltimore, even in the back end of the 1st round, depending what's available. Now, there's a plethora of receivers. You know, there's still Terrace Marshall that I didn't even mention. There's plenty of guys out there. Elijah Moore, we didn't even get to. Like, there's plenty of guys that teams can look at. But for me, Tylan Wallace is just a guy who's standing out to me. Another guy to look at is a sneaky pick, Diami Brown out of UNC. Another guy who consistently being that number 1 target, taking the top off the defense.
Yeah, no, he's a force. Yeah, he's a force.
Route running, man, it translates in the NFL. If you can get open in the NFL, just bring your hands with you, good things are going to happen.
Hey, on that note, that's all we got for you today for our mock draft. Y'all probably not even interested in all the other positions. And we already know tight end is Kyle Pitts, and nothing else matters after that because he is that great. He is a generational talent.
Yeah,
so
Kyle Pitts is different. 4'4", 40.
We can agree on who is our top 5 for tight ends is Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, but do not sleep on Pat Fremont out of Penn State, Brevin Jordan out of Miami. Still 2 young talents. You're going to say who cares, but you know what? It's those guys that you find in the mid-round picks that turn into starters, that's what makes you a good football team. Kamara, found in the 3rd round. Remember that.
Very true. On that note, thank you for stopping by with us on the Players Club Boston. You know we always trying to put on more spice, more content for you soon. It's your boy Nick, only getting better.
Hey, I'm Felipe. Pleasure to have y'all. Welcome to the club again. Thank y'all for staying with us. We'll see you until next time.